Peoria Heights Board of Trustees meeting. Meeting is now called to order. Would you please rise and join us in the pledge of the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Present.
Trustee Carter? Present. Trustee Mariscal? Trustee Cumming?
Present.
Trustee Reichert? Present. Trustee Fuller?
Present.
Thank you very much. First order of business tonight is the approval of the Board of Trustees minutes for the November 17th meeting. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes as submitted.
I have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Reichert. All those in favor of approving the Board of Trustees minutes for the November 17th, 2015 meeting as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Board has approved the minutes for the November 17th meeting as submitted. Next order of business tonight is the approval of the executive session minutes for November 17th as well. Need a motion for approval, please.
I move to approve the executive session minutes for November 17th, 2015 as submitted.
Have a motion from Trustee Reichert.
Second.
Second from Trustee Carter. All those in favor of approving the executive session minutes for November 17th, 2015 as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. The board has approved the executive session minutes for November 17th, 2015. Next order of business tonight is the approval of the informational meeting minutes for November 24th, 2015. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
I move that we accept the informational meeting minutes as submitted.
I have a motion from Trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from Trustee Reichert. All those in favor of approving the informational meeting minutes for November 24th, 2015 as submitted, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The ayes have it. Board has approved the informational meeting minutes for November 24th, 2015 as submitted. Next order of business tonight is correspondence, and that will be presented by our village clerk, Shauna Musselman.
I have one item this evening. It is a letter dated November 23rd, 2015, and it reads, on behalf of the Peoria Leatherneck Detachment Number 81 of the Marine Corps League, I want to express our deep appreciation for your assistance with our traffic stop last month. The event was a great success, and this was addressed to Sarah in administration, and very truly yours, Hal Lundstrom, adjutant. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. No announcements tonight that I'm aware of, so we're going to move to trustee reports. First will be Public Works with Trustee Harn.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. I have nothing under Public Works.
All right, thank you. We'll move to Administration Personnel with Trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. Administration personnel has nothing this evening.
All right, thanks again. Next up is Economic Development, Village Improvements with Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I just want to remind everybody that this Saturday, December 5th, is our Christmas walk. Starting at 4 o'clock, you can get your photo with Santa at the Heights Flowers. And the Christmas tree lighting is at 6 p.m. at the Tower Park. And the businesses will stay open until 8. Saturday, December 12th, which is the following Saturday, is Chocolate in the Heights, which is very popular. So if you want to get your chocolate, you better get there early because they run out quick. And then after that, the Saturday, December 19th, is a red white sale, and I'm assuming that the businesses are having a last-minute shopper sale.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions at all for Trustee Carter? All right, thanks again. We'll move to the Police Department with Trustee Fuller.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. The only thing I have this evening is that the Neighborhood Watch will be on Monday, the 28th, up here at Village Hall, 6:30 p.m.
All right, thank you. Any questions at all for Trustee Fuller? Thanks again. Trustee Mariscal could not be here tonight. Mr. Administrator, anything on the building property maintenance front?
Nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Close out with the Fire Department with Trustee Reichert.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing.
All right. Everyone must be in a hurry to get home and watch Rudolph like I am. If we have any comments from the audience, please come up to the village lectern and give us your name and address and let us know what's on your mind.
I'll go first. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Robbie?
Rob Matheson, 1615 East Fairview Lane, Peoria Heights. I'm here tonight to talk about the Peoria Heights all-class reunion ran by the Peoria Heights Alumni Association on October 3rd of this year. I just want to give everybody a little background about who the organization is and also go into the event just a little bit and talk about the strengths and weaknesses or whatever. Also talk about some comments that were made by Trustee Mariscal. This is in no intent to talk on his behalf, but just like to overcome some of those comments a little bit. So I myself am the president of the Alumni Association. We have Matt King as the vice president. He's in attendance. Secretary is Matt Maybanks, also in attendance. And our treasurer is Lisa Reinholtz, and she is in attendance also. Our voting board consists of Mark Goff. He is here with us. And past president Karen Maybanks. She's also with us. Ashley Maybanks, Steve Baker, Tom Bannon, which is here, and Eric Kelton. Okay, so we meet monthly. We try to do things that benefit, Peoria Heights youth. So one of our biggest events is called the All-Class Reunion, and we host that event at TNT's every year. This was the third year for the event, and it's been a success every year. This year, we asked the board to consider allowing us to close down about 50 yards of Scioto Street right outside of TNT's. The board in a meeting didn't vote but approved the measure, and we went ahead and hosted the event outdoors and indoors. We were able to host live bands, and those were filled by some past alumni, including Rusty Hall, Roy Ponce, very talented musicians. To my knowledge, we had one complaint, and it came in at about 10:15, and this was after my conversation with Assistant Chief Ahart. The complaint was music, noise at that time of night people call. So at 10:15, we were told by the police department to close her up, and by 10:30, everything was over outside, and the exterior was completely cleaned up within 15 minutes of that call. So we're very proud to react that quickly. We had some great management by TNT's, also people on our board to get that done. So that was one thing I was aware of. In our opinion, the event went over flawlessly. We all worked very hard to run a classy event, and we want to thank the village board for allowing us. We also want to thank the Peoria Heights Police Department for monitoring two big events that night, and I know that took a toll on the officers, so thank you guys very much. We raised over $1,800 this year that goes into our alumni account. In years past, we raised around $600. So the outdoor event tripled our money raising abilities, so thank you again. Our next goal was to bring alumni together. We probably had over 500 to 600 people attend this event. This is a big event, and that's why we need the street, because without it, we couldn't host it. We had people from out of state, and it helped create a lot of pride amongst the community. Homecoming weekend is really big for the village. Not only does TNT's benefit, the night before our event, the class of 75 had a reunion. They took 40 members to Lucky's and had dinner and drinks. So Lucky's benefited, Peoria Pizza Works benefited, Subway benefits, Save-A-Lot, our gas stations. Everybody benefits from homecoming weekend, not just TNT's. I want to make that clear. We understand making everyone happy is impossible, but some of the comments made had the potential to tarnish the event. So that's why we're here. We're here to explain that it's a great event, and we want everybody to attend next year if we can have it. My question to the comments would be, we go with the slogan, "It's happening in the Heights." So I can guarantee if anybody was driving through Peoria Heights that night, they left knowing it was happening in the Heights with the two events that were going on. So we achieved that, in my opinion. I also want to make one more point. Troy and his staff, many don't know this, but they donate thousands of dollars a year to Peoria Heights Athletics, Peoria Heights Youth. They feed the football team every week before their games on Thursday nights. They do a lot for the kids. So in return, our decision to host it there is very simple. They're the biggest stakeholder in the youth, so we host it at TNT's. Next year, the event is on October 1st. I'm letting everybody know that now so we don't run into any issues. And we will come before the board again, maybe a month prior or thereabouts to ask for your approval again. So I know it doesn't take a vote to get your approval, but I think it needs to be talked about, early. So yeah, we feel like it's been a great success for the community. And again, I'm sorry for talking so long, but thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for your dedication, though, to the village. We appreciate it. Any other comments from the audience? Cares, concerns? Beef stew recipe? Mr. Marfell? Okay. All right, we thank everyone for attending tonight. We have no old business tonight, so we're going to go right to new business. And first up is something that angers the trustees every year, but we have to do it. I'm asking the board to approve to cancel the December departmental meeting due to the holiday season. So I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion from trustee Cumming.
Second.
Second from trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, once again, this is for board approval to cancel the December departmental meeting, take all of our information we do normally in December and take it to January. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The board has approved to cancel the December departmental meeting as a Christmas present to those who work so hard here. Ordinance 2015-1455 is our next order of new business, and that will be presented by trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. At this time, I would like to make a motion that we approve Ordinance 2015-1455, which is the annual levy ordinance. And really, what this is, the 4% of the property taxes that is allocated to the village by the third Tuesday of December every year, we have to report to the county how those funds are being distributed. And if you look at it, I know when we went over this in the departmental meeting, it was one sheet that just showed what the funds were that were being distributed, and this is several pages, which does include our budget for the 2015-2016 fiscal year, which we do have to include with this accounting to the county. But if you turn to page 11 out of 12, and I apologize, you guys out in the audience don't have this document in front of you, so please bear with us. But the breakdown of the funds, the 4%, which was $855,123, were levied as following. $124,533 is allocated to the general fund. $289,967 is allocated towards the police pension fund, and the Peoria Heights Free Public Library received $440,623. That's it. That's the reporting of the allocation.
Kept waiting for a few more figures there. Sean, did you want to give us a little background on the library budget this year at all?
Yeah, just in general. Just as a matter of just in general speaking, I just wanted to thank the board and the village for the support of the library over the past year. Especially to Kyle, as I mentioned before, we've had a lot of support from Public Works with the garden project that we had over the summer, which was a great success. In cooperation with Richwoods Township and Roger Larson, we made a big impact on a number of kids' lives, and I'm hoping that continues in the future. And a thank you in advance for any clearing of the parking lot for snow during the winter. Let's hope.
Hopefully that won't be needed.
Yeah, we'll hope so, but there it is. And I just wanted to thank the entire community for welcoming me into Peoria Heights. And the people of Peoria Heights have been remarkably welcoming of me, and are very, I don't know, it's a really odd feeling to come back to Peoria Heights and feel like you've come back home. To a certain respect. I know some of you aren't familiar with my history, but I worked here back in the 90s as just a regular clerk. And we have people that come in, even if they're just checking out a book, where they're making memorial donations for loved ones, which happens quite frequently, and we really appreciate that. Or the contributions we get from the business community when we have our February basket raffle. It goes on and on. I mean, we have a lot of support from the community, and one of the things that really amazes me is that on a regular basis, I hear people from the library just come in and say something to the effect of, I love this library, or they'll say that, I've never been in this library, I didn't know it existed, it's such a hidden gem, something to that effect. I don't know if people realize that, but I've worked in a lot of libraries, and this is the only one that I've ever had that kind of reaction on a regular basis. I mean, so I don't know, if you've never checked out the library, it's, come by sometime and check us out and see what we're doing. But in effect, really, I'm just building on what Marcia Westfall did for many years before me. She was here at the library for 27 years, and she built a lot of good relationships in the community, and I hope I continue those. And I've been fortunate to add a few things to the environment of the library, and hopefully will be some benefit to patrons. We've added a self-service copier, printer, scanner, which I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it gets a lot of use, and people are really happy with it. We've upgraded our internet, our bandwidth to, and we're using fiber now, and that's a tremendous help to staff and patrons that come in to use our mobile hotspot or and public computers. We are buying a lot more books for the community, a lot more videos, books. I think our budget for materials just to help the public out is increased by about 20% just on materials alone, which doesn't sound like, I don't know, it sounds like a lot to me. It is a lot of money. It really is. And we also have access, whether people know it or not, it's kind of a hidden secret of the library, is that anyone that has a library card has free access to over 20,000 ebooks through our consortial agreements that we have. So if you have a Kindle reader or something like that, check us out. It's available on the website, and we'll provide any kind of information or links that you want if you just come in and ask us or call us. And we will continue in the future to investigate and work on innovative programming like we did with the Garden Project, like I mentioned. Roger and I are discussing a senior nutrition fair in the spring that's somewhat similar to the Baby Palooza that we had last year. And if you remember, we had an infant fair that we coordinated with Bright Futures down here at the grade school. And we had a large number of people that came into the library that day, and we're going to do that again this year. So we really enjoy putting things like that on, and I hope that we can do more. We have a lot of building partnerships with the school districts and the Richwoods Township, of course, that I mentioned before. The village, I'm welcome to start partnerships with anybody in the village that's has an idea and wants to pursue it. There are a lot of avenues that we haven't investigated yet, and I would be glad to talk that over with people in the community that have ideas. But once again, I just want to thank you for your support, and if you're around next Thursday and Friday, it's the holiday open house at the library. Anyone from the community is welcome to come in and stop by and have a plate of cookies with us. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
I will second the motion.
Okay, have a motion from Trustee Cumming and a second from Trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of Ordinance 2015-1455, adoption of the 2015 through 2016 property tax levy as outlined by Trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter? Aye. Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 5-0, the board has approved Ordinance 2015-1455. Our next order of new business is Ordinance 2015-1456, consideration of a redevelopment agreement by and between the Village of Peoria Heights and Jeff, Katie, Martha, how do you want me to pronounce that?
Hebe Building.
Hebe Building, okay.
Building?
Hebe Building, okay. I knew I was going to massacre it if I didn't ask you. LLC, and that will be presented by Trustee Carter.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion. This thing is 30 pages long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. It will be available for the public if they want to come up and read it later. But I make a motion to, for the ordinance number 2015-1456, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of the TIF district redevelopment agreement by and between the Village of Peoria Heights, Peoria County, Illinois, and Hube Building LLC, Peoria Heights TIF District 1, adopting the village president and board of trustees of the Village of Peoria Heights, first day of December 2015. So I don't know if you want to elaborate any more.
I will go ahead and make the motion then, and have a motion from Trustee Carter.
Second.
Second from Trustee Reichert. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes?
I just want to say, I want to thank Jeff and Martha and Katie for hanging in there. I've said it before that there were a lot of moving parts to this deal, and it's taken a long time to get to this point. So thank you for your patience and your perseverance in working to bring what is a long-standing and successful business to the village. You have no idea what it means to our economy and to the future of the village. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Cumming. Trustee Fuller?
Very quickly, I'll just add, in order to explain my vote a little bit tonight, I love Trusker's. I've eaten at Trusker's all my life, and I will continue to do so, believe me. The blueberry raspberry Danish is where it's at. But I'm going to have to vote against this tonight because of its reliance on sales tax revenue, to meet the debt obligations. I can't understand why that is a good idea for the village. I think basing the debt obligations on property tax is one thing. Property tax can't go below a certain level. I just think with the sales tax, it opens us up to, liabilities down the road, 5, 10, 15 years, and so that's the only reason I'm voting no. But obviously I love Trusker's and I'll continue to eat there, so. We could go on a little bit further, but I thought for Katie's sake, I'll make it quick tonight.
Mr. Administrator, could you just kind of give a brief overview about what protections we do have, just to address a few things that Trustee
Sure, and I know Trustee Fuller spoke with the preparer of the document before the meeting, but just for those who know, it's the debt service on the village's bond issue comes from the property tax that's generated from the building and also the sales tax generated from the businesses located inside of Trusker's. There will be an additional 1% sales tax that's created and added to certain items sold there that will also help pay the debt service. In the event that those two items aren't enough for us to meet our obligation, there's also something called a special service area that's going to be set up, which essentially is the last line of defense between developers paying it and the village being forced to meet that obligation. So the special service area actually obligates the owners of the building to make up whatever shortfall there might be. So like I said, there's property tax, there's sales tax, and in the event that might not cover it, there's also an obligation on the owners of the building to make that payment. So I understand your position completely.
The only thing I'll add to that is just that the sales tax, when you look at these projections, is over 35%. So it's not an insignificant amount of the money that they would have to, come up with as a business. And so I think that, for me, that's just too high of a percent, so.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of Ordinance 2015-1456. As outlined by Trustee Carter, the consideration of a redevelopment agreement by and between the Village of Peoria Heights and Hebe Building LLC. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Aye.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Mayor Allen?
Aye.
Trustee Cumming?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Fuller?
No.
Okay, thank you. By a vote of 5-1, the board has approved Ordinance 2015-1456 as outlined by Trustee Carter. So, time to start baking. Sounds good. Thanks again, as Trustee Cumming outlined. Appreciate your perseverance. It's been a long and arduous road at times, but Instead of a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we have a pot of cookies at the end of the rainbow. So welcome to Peoria Heights. Next order of new business tonight is ordinance 2015-1457. That will be presented by Trustee Cumming.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. At this time, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2015-1457, which would allow Adams Outdoor Advertising to place a billboard on the southeast corner of the Heights Landing development, which is actually the corner of War Drive and Wisconsin Avenue. This will be a 10 by 30 foot sign. One side, the side that is facing west, so it would be eastbound traffic on 150 would see the digital side of the sign, which will have, I believe it's 10 different ads each minute. And on the static side, the opposite side would be static, and that would be facing on the east side of 150. So westbound traffic on 150 would just see one static billboard sign there. I said this is 10 by 30. The bottom edge of this will be 35 feet in the air. It will be 45 feet at the top. And we feel very confident that Adams Outdoor Advertising will be compliant with with all village requirements as far as illumination, luminaries, the amount of moving versus static images that are on the billboard. And they're also bound by the state requirements, which are very similar to the villages as well. As part of the package, and per Jim Youngman, the real estate manager for Adams Outdoor Advertising, we did receive a letter from him as part of the deal. The village will receive free advertising, so we have the ability to promote our events and things we have going on in the Heights for free. Which the one caveat is that as space allows, which during this presentation of the Planning Committee, Jim did relay to us that, it's very rare that all 10 slots on the billboard on a monthly basis will be filled up. So per what Jim has said, there will be plenty of opportunities for us to be able to advertise our events, which is a great thing for getting our message out down there on the War Drive corridor, which does have a lot of traffic flowing by.
Okay, thank you. So we make a motion then, Trustee Cumming?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay. You might have already said it, but I was thinking about what Rudolph was doing right now and kind of got lost there.
It's fighting the bumble, probably.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Cumming. Need a second, please?
Second.
Second from Trustee Carter. Any questions or comments from the board before the board votes? Okay, once again, this is for board approval of the ordinance 2015-1457, as outlined by Trustee Cumming. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Trustee Harn?
Nay. I think they look better on the side of a highway, an interstate.